America's brightest orange is going global with students studying abroad.
Today, we'll find out how the cowboy family goes global. I'm Aven Molinar.
And I'm Charlotte Sams. And
this is PETES Corner.
Welcome into PETES Corner. My name is Charlotte Sams, and today we're going to be exploring all of the different options. Aven, what are you doing?
I want to study abroad, but I don't know where to start. I'm trying to book a plane ticket right now.
You can't just book a plane ticket. There are so many more things you need to do before you do that. Actually, OSU Study Abroad program can really help you. Tyler Griffith has more.
Education at OSU doesn't take place only in Stillwater. The Oklahoma State Center for Global Learning sits in the bustling basement of the Union, offering students advice and knowledge about how to take their studies beyond their borders.
We're here to kind of give them more information and tell them about all of the opportunities they have, because there are so many, from like short-term to long-term and all over the world. So,
at the center, students can find a comfortable spot to hang out and learn more about the opportunities they offer, or reminisce on past adventures that they've been on. The center also employs students who've had the experience of traveling to learn.
The OSU Study Abroad Office, or the Center for Global Learning, has changed students' lives. It takes them out of Stillwater to learn more and grow their knowledge through other cultures, countries, and other people.
It was really fun. I went to Japan. We went to a lot of popular sites, Tokyo, Kyoto. We got to tour some engineering labs, which was pretty cool.
Like Sean, many OSU students have had the opportunity to travel across the globe to study abroad. The Center for Global Learning is willing to talk to any and all types of students about what adventures they could partake on.
Anytime that I walk by, they're always willing to help answer any of my questions about the process of getting involved with study abroad or what it takes to do it.
There are opportunities for everyone to further their degree outside of the classroom doors. Anyone wanting to spread that bright orange across the world should visit the Center for Global Studies. For PETES Corner, this is Tyler Griffith.
Now, studying is only a fraction of what you actually get to do when you're studying abroad, from favorable cuisines to favorable weather. The experiences you'll get to see when you study abroad are phenomenal. Carson Buller has more.
Studying abroad provides an incredible learning experience for all those involved. But let's be honest, no one is traveling across the world for the lectures. While the trips are undoubtedly educational in nature, the true appeal lies outside of textbooks and within experiencing the communities and customs of the area. In the midst of their international studies, students like Brianna Pieper, who traveled to Zimbabwe, quickly realized just how much lifestyles can vary from place to place.
There were a lot of differences. It was kind of easy to focus on the differences, I would say, just because it's a very different world over there.
Some differences, like language or environment, are easy to anticipate, while others, as Georgia Kelly found out during her time in Scotland, can come as quite the culture shock.
They dress nice every day, which is weird. I don't know if you know, on campus, everybody's just in a t-shirt and shorts. I wore jeans every day, like jeans and a nice sweater, and put myself together because everybody at school looked like that also.
Even the things that seem like a given to us here in America, things we couldn't imagine living without, may not always be as useful or even available to other places around the world.
Didn't have a car, so I was riding the bus daily. We were walking like 13 miles a day, which is insane. Like 10,000 steps times 3.
We were not supposed to drink the water over there. We had to drink bottled water the whole time just because of the difference in cleanliness of water.
Some aspects of overseas life can feel familiar, if not underwhelming.
The food was just in my opinion.
While other aspects have sizable key differences.
There were some traffic lights in Harare, but people didn't necessarily abide by those traffic lights. You just kind of make your own lane and you just kind of go when you want to, and you basically just play chicken with the other cars.
We are a lot more on our phones and watching TV and stuff, or they're more outdoors having conversations, so I guess a bit more traditional in that sense.
And yet, despite our glaringly obvious cultural differences, at the end of the day, people are people.
Once we got to get to know the people there and really just experience their culture, I think we realized that we have a lot in common. It can just seem like very different worlds when you first get there, but you really have so much in common.
But people also were so friendly. It was very easy to make friends anywhere we went, whether that was like the bars, just walking around the cities, libraries, whatever. People always were up to talking.
From this side of the Atlantic, this is Carson Buller reporting for Pete's Corner.
What I wouldn't give to be in Zimbabwe right now. Not only is the Spear School of Business the nicest building on Hester Street, it's also home to another study abroad program. Claire Thomas has more.
Every year, hundreds of business students on the Oklahoma State University campus partake in once-in-a-lifetime trips to international locations through the Center for Advanced Global Leadership and Engagement program. KGL, as it's better known, works through the Spear School of Business to send students on study abroad trips all around the world. Credits are offered through this program, and students take advantage of the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Emily Ray took a trip last spring to Italy through KGL and reflects on why she chose this program. As she pursues her degree in entrepreneurship, she uses what she learned on this adventure to help her achieve her academic goals.
Yeah, it was definitely a super awesome experience. We got to also learn a lot more about the culture in its entirety, which was really cool. But yeah, it was a super awesome experience.
Another student studying accounting shared this experience with Emily, traveling to Italy to broaden her educational horizons. Lauren Grubb tells me more about how going to a new country taught her lessons that she applies in and out of the classroom.
I was able to go on a trip that I've been looking forward to my entire life, and I was able to go to Italy and also get credits for college for it.
KGL allows students to live out their dreams while also immersing themselves in educational opportunities.
Now, it might be a little dreary out here, but inside the Spear School of Business, spirits are high and the office is teeming with action. With over 30 countries to travel to, the knowledge gained on these trips is limitless. Spring, summer, and winter break courses are offered throughout the academic year, amounting to over 400 Spear students participating in these global study abroad programs every year.
The KGL office sits on the first floor of the building, catching students' eyes as they head to class. You'll recognize their flyers and pamphlets at a table located right beyond their doors, calling you to come and join them on their next trip. There's so much that goes into planning for these trips, right down to the minute-to-minute details.
And then we also have business credits that go along with every single program. So if you are any kind of business major, you're going to find a program that has the course that you need to fulfill your degree plan.
As you can see, the Center for Advanced Global Leadership and Engagement has contributed incredible business opportunities and memories that will last a lifetime for Oklahoma State students. With Pete's Corner, I'm Claire Thomas.
Man, that is a fun way for business students to go overseas and learn. I wish I was in Italy right now. Coming up next, we have a cowgirl studying abroad.
It's hard to imagine my life before her, or a day without her. So much of what I take for granted simply wouldn't exist. She is the force that holds our life together. She is my everything, the center of my universe, from Forevermark. The diamond, the promise. Available at Lewis Jewelers.
Studying abroad incorporates so many different types of cultures and teaching styles. All the way across the pond, one of our very own, a part of the Cowboy family, is studying at Kiel University. Becca Bowman is here with us today. How are you, Rebecca?
Hi, Charlotte. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
Can you tell us a little bit about what studying abroad is like?
Yeah, so I'm a psychology major, and I had some free electives, so that kind of gave me freedom to choose what classes I wanted to take, but I sort of stayed close to the path of psychology. Although I will say classes here are very different because we don't really have homework, and it's 2-hour class periods with a couple of 10-minute breaks in between. I will say it's a lot more freedom than I'm used to because you kind of get to do things at your own pace. But, I'm doing a lot of talking. Why don't I just show you?
Studying abroad means that you get to experience new cultures and new things, which translates to different teaching styles here at Oklahoma State. OSU is home to many international professors who are here to help you teach and learn. Sarah Osborne has more.
Oklahoma State University is home to many different people from many different places. For Swoomin Shin, home is further than most.
I was born in Seoul in South Korea, and I was grew up for 30 years.
Shin came to the United States to study for his master's and doctoral degrees in communications.
I thought my knowledge about advertising is not great, so I decided to study abroad. So at the time, I thought that America, the United States, is the best company to learn about advertising because advertising industry is the biggest in the world.
After teaching advertising for 5 years at the University of Wisconsin, he came to OSU to continue his career and found different experiences all over.
The students in OSU is a little bit more active. They really want to engage in the course. I love that passion and their attitude for the course, and they really want to learn something from the instructor.
Another instructor in SMSC is working towards teaching her students crucial skills for their careers. Dr. Benetta Liu is from China and came to OSU to teach data journalism, something she says is critical for the students to learn.
I just feel like the philosophy of journalism teaching here matches my teaching philosophy a lot.
Both of these professors have a passion for teaching, but they also share similar experiences of cultural differences they have encountered when they moved to Stillwater.
When I first moved here, it's only like 30,000 versus like 30 million.
And small towns like Stillwater also have their own perks that folks that come from all over the world like Liu and Shin enjoy and cherish.
I personally really like this rural area. It's calm and peaceful environment.
You enjoy the tranquility and the fact that you don't spend 2 hours to commute for just 5 miles.
Many people from many different places finding things they love about Stillwater and OSU is what being a cowboy is all about. With Pete's Corner, Sarah Osborne.
It's amazing to hear such inspiring stories about where our professors here at OSU have come from. But if you're wanting to study abroad in a country where you don't know the language, the Foreign Language Department has the tools for you. Miles Jennings is with us to tell us more.
Any trip around the globe has a beginning. For Cameron Chapman and at Madison Young, their spring 2023 trip began at an interest meeting hosted by the Department of Languages and Literatures.
And they were promoting a study abroad night, and they had these people come and speak about their experience, and it was more than just someone just handing me a sheet of paper and being like, oh, here, study abroad. And they showed me pictures and talked about their experience. And I decided I wanted to have something like that for myself.
Studying abroad brought Chapman to Barcelona and Young to Madrid, Spain, respectively. While experiencing individual wonders, inexpensive travel costs afforded many adventures to strengthen their bond.
Flew in the day we did because we went to a soccer game like the very first day that we were there, just embracing Spain like right away.
While the steps for studying abroad are lengthy, the steps are conveniently located on an Oklahoma State University website. All of this is possible with the Department of Languages and Literatures, not only with its resources, but also with the passion of its professors.
Just a lot of help in general. I even went to one of my professors about how to fill out my visa paperwork. So
those working tirelessly for those adventurous students know firsthand the potential of the experience.
So when I first arrived in Madrid, I called my family and I exchanged 1,000 pesetas, which is about $10, and it was about $11 then actually. And the phone ate it up in about 2 minutes. So we would talk once a month, maybe every 3 weeks.
Even for short journeys around the globe, the experience abroad is a unique learning experience.
We started in Puebla and kind of hung out with some of the college students there, looked at the history, and then we went to La Preciosita and did a homestay.
As opportunities abroad occur yearly, the Department of Languages and Literatures continuously labor for the students at Oklahoma State University. For Pete's Corner, I'm Miles Jennings.
The department will be hosting a scholarship meeting at Gunderson October 24th at 4 p.m. But up next on Pete's Corner, we have a coach who is dedicated to his study abroad students and wants to make them feel more at home. Stay tuned.
Our state is one of the most beautiful and unique states in the USA. With diverse geographies, the historic Route 66, unforgettable restaurants, and some of the greatest people on the planet. With so much to see and so much to do, living in Oklahoma means one of the best vacation spots is right in our own backyard. Doesn't this story need to be told? As filmmakers and photographers based right here in Oklahoma, we thought so. And hey, who doesn't like a good road trip? So, we packed up our cameras, teamed up with Lieutenant Governor Matt Pinnell and the Oklahoma Tourism and Recreation Department, and that's how this series was born. We want to show you why traveling within the great state of Oklahoma is a great idea. So come join us for thousands of miles over the next year, from Broken Bow to Black Mesa. This is the Oklahoma Road Trip.
I am hungry. Maybe it's time we meet up with Jake Sellers, who was at OSU's International Expo, where he got to have some great food, meet great people, had a great time. Let's go.
The Wes Watkins Center is home to OSU Global, the center for multiple international programs at the university. While one main focus of the center is having international students study here in Oklahoma, OSU Global Dean Randy Kluver says getting domestic students to travel outside the U.S. is just as important.
I fundamentally believe that having that global perspective makes us better citizens of the U.S., helps us to better understand the global realities. And, for a student, it can be a life-changing experience to have their eyes opened through that kind of experience.
Whether it be U.S. citizens studying overseas or an international student studying here in the States, Kluver says the impact OSU Global has had on the world is something many students here may be unaware of.
Korea went from being one of the poorest countries on earth to one of the richest because of an OSU graduate, right? The current Indonesian ambassador to the U.S. was a student at OSU.
Kluver told Pete's Corner one of OSU Global's top priorities is increasing domestic students interested in studying abroad. One method of outreach is hosting events that allow students to dip their toes in the water and immersing themselves in other cultures.
We're here at the International Expo outside the library lawn, and this is an event that happens every year where you got dozens of different cultures from around the world all in one location, sharing their experiences and food, and helping immerse students from here in the United States into their cultures.
The International Expo takes place each fall with the intended purpose of sharing dishes unique to each country represented. It only seemed necessary to taste around for myself.
What, do you have a favorite one?
I would say the spaghetti because I prepared it anyway.
Yeah? Do you think I could try it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Peace brought me a plate of his homemade spaghetti, and after that was momo dumplings from Nepal.
That's good. Spicy. You know, tangy. I like it. All right, let's dig in.
They can handle the spice.
Good? Yes, very good.
Of course, the International Expo isn't just about the food. It's also about learning from other cultures students and staff at OSU might be interested in.
Well, Korean Association about like all the Korean people include like you can join anyone interested like K-pop or interested like any Korean culture.
Kang encourages students to study abroad in Korea for a number of reasons.
Well, I would say Korean culture is really cool, and then you gotta love it. Korean food is also delicious. Yeah.
Now, we were only able to cover a fraction of the cultures represented behind me here. However, you should come here next year and every year that you're here in Stillwater and try some delicious food, meet some amazing people, and immerse yourselves in different cultures. For Pete's Corner, I'm Jake Sellers.
Now I'm hungry, but the road to home always feels longer on the way back. Peyton Little has found this out and is ready to tell us more.
Oklahoma State Cowgirl Tennis, a program of rich history and success. Success that has been built off the shoulders of many international athletes. And while the victories on the court will always live in the record books, there's one thing that may stick with these athletes even more: change. Coming from Belarus, Anastasia Komar is one of the newest members of the Oklahoma State Cowgirls. Transferring in from LSU, Komar is quite familiar with change, but that also means she's no stranger to the U.S. as well.
Like, I haven't seen my parents in like almost 2 years, I think, so it's like kind of tough, and I would just like, I don't know, just miss my cats too.
Leaving pieces of home like Musa and Maisa makes the trip that much harder. But that's the life of an international athlete.
Living that far away from home may seem like it could cause quite a racket, but the Cowgirl tennis staff and team has done its best to make Stillwater as welcoming of a place as possible.
Head coach of the Cowgirls, Chris Young, has established a winning culture in his 14 years at Oklahoma State. But also, he has made a point to let a different culture grow. In fact, many different cultures.
Sometimes we've hosted on their holidays, certain holidays that they have at home. We try to host something in our house and celebrate their holidays. Some of the holidays that we have here that they're not used to celebrating, we like to bring them into that. And then sometimes we just have nights at the house where everybody brings something from their country, like their favorite dish, and everybody gets to try it, and they love being able to share like a little piece of home with everybody else.
The celebration of one another has not only helped to build team chemistry on the court, but off of it. Having 2 children of his own, that is exactly the kind of environment Young strives to maintain for not only the students, but the parents of the players.
I have, a son in college and a daughter getting ready to go, and I know what they go through just being a little bit away from home, but not being in another country with different languages. So it's an appreciation, it's a respect, and it's definitely something that you admire them for what they've done, and you want to help them in that process.
Life is more than the points you score and the matches you win. Family is family, whether that's in Stillwater or Belarus. For Pete's Corner, Peyton Little.
Although it's not the same, Anastasia Komar and many of the other international cowgirls have called Stillwater their new home. And now Aven has a special surprise.
Thanks, Charlotte. Now I'm here with our very own Louisa Clausen, who is now studying abroad with us. Louisa, how are you today?
I'm doing good, Aven.
So, how does studying abroad and being the editor-in-chief of our very own newspaper, how does that correlate?
I think in the beginning it was really challenging getting involved with the Okali as an international student because I felt really insecure with my English and just my writing abilities in general. Like small rules, like comma rules are different here than they are back home. And so at first it was really scary transitioning into it, but my former editor-in-chief, Adam Engel, he was an amazing mentor, and so he helped me so much transitioning into this job, and he made me feel really safe and secure. And I still have my own insecurities as an international student, you know, like, because it's not only the grammar part, it's also there's cultural differences and the way that, you know, that we talk to people, or that just relationships in general are different. And so having to find that balance to, like, okay, keeping who I am and where I came from, but also adapting to this new culture that I'm in right now, while being in a leadership position, is just insanely overwhelming. But I have a beautiful team that keeps me on track and that accept me and accept where I come from and ask me questions. And so I feel very welcome, and I feel like this is a place I have to be.
Thanks, Louisa. Now, we've talked today with students that have studied abroad, but what about the future? What about those who want to study abroad? Charlotte Sams has more.
Who doesn't want to hop on a plane and explore another country? Students all around campus are booking their tickets for one of the fastest selling trips right now. Dr. Griffin Pivito is taking a trip to Dublin, Ireland, but he studied abroad in more than one place. And for him, it's more than just sightseeing.
And what has really hooked me on it is that you can see the changes in students, that students learn and grow, you know, even if it's just a week-long experience. You know, you can see the change.
Many students have never been outside of Oklahoma or even on an airplane, and for Dr. Pivito, he's able to show them places that they never thought they would ever see.
The camaraderie that you form on these trips is huge, and on that, because you have people from all across the school, all very different interests and backgrounds, but yet somehow when you're all facing the same situation, it just kind of gels. And
whether Dr. Pivito is teaching at Oklahoma State or in Ireland, he is making an impact worldwide. Whether you're a professor or a student, studying abroad has something for you. You can learn about different cultures and all about other countries as well, and you can go there yourself. Ashlyn Oliver is someone who has already studied abroad and will be going back on the trip again this year. Studying in Ireland gave her more opportunities than she could ever imagine.
Because I was able to learn the culture of other countries, study with people my age, and there's many scholarships.
Once students are back into the United States, their relationships might mean a little bit more.
I've actually been to 2 weddings now from students, from former study abroad students.
The opportunity to go to Ireland with a professor like Dr. Pivito is something that no student should pass up. From Pete's Corner, I'm Charlotte Sams.
I am so excited to study abroad. Charlotte, what are you doing?
Oh, I just booked myself a study abroad trip.
Where are headed to?
Oh my gosh. Well, we're going to head out, but next week on Pete's Corner, Staycation, all the best places right here in Stillwater. For Pete's Corner, I'm Charlotte Sams.
And I'm Aven Molinar. Go Popes.